Have you ever wondered what it takes to not just grow old, but to thrive in your golden years? In this video, we're diving deep into the secrets of living a fulfilling, vibrant life no matter your age. From continuous learning and keeping an open mind to maintaining harmonious relationships with your children and living with purpose, you'll discover the superpowers that can make your later years the best of your life. Stay with us until the end, and you'll uncover practical tips and inspiring stories that could transform how you approach aging, because the wisdom we're about to share is a treasure that could change your life. If you are not subscribed, subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. 1. You keep a sharp mind and see through people's tricks. Imagine having the uncanny ability to see through scams, as if you possessed a superpower, a sense so finely tuned that you could detect deception from miles away. It's a gift, really, one that shields you in a world where scams are as common as the air we breathe. Picture this: someone approaches you, trying to sell you the Brooklyn Bridge. Without hesitation, you not only sidestep the trap, but with a sharp mind, you might even flip the situation around and sell the bridge back to them. This isn't just wishful thinking, it's the kind of mental agility we all aspire to. But how do we cultivate such a keen mind? It might feel like magic when everything just clicks, but in reality, it's the result of staying alert, curious, and continually learning. Renowned neuroscientist David Eagleman emphasizes that learning new skills, be it a language, a musical instrument, or even a new hobby, keeps the brain young, agile, and ever sharp. The thought that we can keep our minds as spry as our younger selves simply by engaging in new learning is nothing short of exhilarating. Let's delve into the deceitful tricks that people use, especially those targeting the vulnerable, like the elderly. It's heartbreaking to think of how many unscrupulous companies prey on their kindness, using psychological tactics to weave a web of trust before ensnaring them in their schemes. These companies offer gifts, emotional support, and regular meetings, all meticulously designed to create a false sense of security. It's like being invited to a warm, friendly gathering, only to find yourself cornered by someone trying to sell you a vacuum cleaner you don't need. The betrayal stings, doesn't it? But with a sharp, discerning mind, you can see through these ploys as if they were made of fragile glass, ready to shatter at the slightest touch. You'll be able to tell the difference between a sincere gesture and a manipulative trick before the con artist even finishes their pitch. The thought of outsmarting those who try to deceive us brings a deep sense of satisfaction and empowerment, doesn't it? Psychologist Robert Cialdini, in his illuminating book Influence, delves into the principles of persuasion that scammers masterfully exploit. Understanding these principles is like holding a map that details every twist and turn of the enemy's terrain. One of the most insidious is the principle of reciprocity. If someone gives you something, you naturally feel compelled to return the favor. Scammers know this all too well and manipulate it to their advantage. But imagine the power you'd hold with a sharp mind that recognizes these tactics for what they are. You could confidently respond with thanks, but no thanks without a shred of guilt. That's the beauty of a well-honed mind. It's your armor against deceit, your sword in the battle against manipulation. Staying sharp also means embracing the digital age, even if it feels daunting at times. Yes, I can hear your thoughts. Do I need to learn how to navigate TikTok at my age? The idea might seem overwhelming, but it's not about becoming a social media sensation. Rather, it's about understanding the tools and technologies that shape the world around us. Knowing how these platforms work equips you to recognize online scams before they can reach you. And remember, the secret ingredient to keeping your mind sharp is curiosity and insatiable thirst for knowledge. Read voraciously, tackle puzzles, and engage in spirited debates with friends. Your brain is a muscle, after all, and the more you exercise it, the stronger and more resilient it becomes. The journey of keeping your mind sharp is not just about defense, it's about living a life rich with learning, growth, and the pure joy of outsmarting those who seek to take advantage of others. Doesn't that sound like a life well lived? If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment one below to let me know that you are still here with me. 2. Your body stays in good shape. Have you ever stopped to imagine what it would be like to reach 80 years old, brimming with the energy and vitality of someone half your age? Picture yourself playing a spirited game of football with your grandchildren, effortlessly keeping up with their boundless energy, or whipping up a delicious feast for the entire family, your hands steady and sure as ever. It may sound like a fantasy, but it's far closer to reality than you might think. The secret: it's all about treating your body with the love and care it deserves. Nothing extreme, no grueling diets or punishing workouts. Just smart, consistent self-care. Take a moment to reflect on the lives of people like the legendary actor Christopher Plummer, who graced the stage and screen until the age of 91, or the incredible Tal Porchin-Lynch, who was still teaching yoga at 101. These remarkable individuals aren't outliers, they're living proof of what's possible when you cherish your body like the priceless treasure it is. So what does it mean to be in good shape at 70, 80, or beyond? It's not about running marathons or bench pressing your body weight. The real triumph lies in the everyday victories, being able to dress yourself with ease, prepare your favorite meals, or lend a helping hand to your children with their household chores. Imagine the joy in your grandchildren's eyes when you outpace them in a race or lead them in a salsa dance. "Grandpa, you're amazing," they'll exclaim. And with a twinkle in your eye, you'll respond, "I've got a little secret." Of course, maintaining your health and vitality isn't without its challenges. It demands effort, dedication, and a whole lot of heart. But the rewards are immeasurable. When you're healthy, you're not just improving your own life, you're enriching the lives of those you love. Consider this: would you rather have your children visit out of obligation, to take care of you, or out of a genuine desire to share in your company, to laugh, reminisce, and create new memories together? The answer is clear, isn't it? Research from Harvard University reveals that seniors who stay active and in good physical condition have a staggering 50% lower risk of developing dementia. 50%. It's as if your brain is whispering, "Take care of me, and I'll take care of you." But don't be daunted, you don't have to transform into an Olympic athlete overnight. Small, consistent changes can yield significant results. How about starting with a simple 10-minute walk each day? Or perhaps you've always been curious about that Tai Chi class at the community center. Why not give it a try? The key is to find activities that bring you joy, because let's face it, if it isn't fun, you're less likely to stick with it. And speaking of fun, did you know that regular dancing can reduce the risk of falls by 31%? So the next time your favorite tune starts playing, don't hesitate, get up and dance like no one's watching. Remember, my friend, your body is like a finely crafted classic car. With the right care, it can run smoothly and beautifully for years to come. The best part, it's never too late to start. Whether you're 30, 50, or 70, there's always an opportunity to take that first step toward a healthier, more active life. So are you ready to join the ranks of the fittest grandparents around? Your future self will thank you. And who knows, maybe you'll even be the one leading Zumba classes in the retirement home, with everyone marveling at your boundless energy and zest for life. 3. You have hobbies, and life is never boring. Imagine this scene: you're 80 years old, sitting comfortably in your favorite chair, and your grandchildren eagerly gather around, curious about how you spent your day. Instead of telling them that you spent hours watching the latest soap operas or just passing time, you proudly share that you attended a painting class where you completed a beautiful landscape, or that you just returned from a thrilling chess match. It sounds like a dream, doesn't it? But it's not an impossible one. The secret to living a vibrant life, even in your later years, lies in something as simple yet profound as having hobbies, those activities that not only keep you engaged but also make you feel truly alive, challenge your mind, and nourish your soul. The impact is real according to a study by Harvard University. Elderly people who stay active with meaningful hobbies have a 30% lower chance of developing dementia. That's not just a number, it's a life-changing statistic. But let's get specific. What kinds of hobbies are we talking about? Don't worry, I'm not suggesting you take up something extreme like becoming a parkour master at 70. Though if you do manage to pull that off, please let us know so we can feature you as an inspiration. No, the kinds of activities that can transform your golden years are those that engage both your mind and heart. Take chess, for example. It's a game that keeps your mind as sharp as a finely honed blade, challenging your strategic thinking and memory. Or consider painting, where every stroke of the brush not only stimulates your creativity but also offers a powerful outlet for expressing your emotions. Who needs expensive therapy sessions when you can pour your feelings onto a canvas, right? And let's not overlook singing, an activity that not only strengthens your lungs but also floods your body with endorphins, those wonderful natural mood boosters. It's like taking a happiness pill, minus the side effects, unless you count the occasional raised eyebrows from your neighbors when you're belting out tunes in the shower. I know what some of you might be thinking, but I'm already retired. Isn't it time for me to just relax and take it easy? And my response is yes, relax, but do it actively. Retirement isn't the end of your journey, it's the start of a new, exciting chapter in your life. The famous psychologist Erik Erikson spoke about the concept of generativity versus stagnation in late adulthood. Essentially, you have a choice: continue to grow, contribute, and stay vibrant, or risk stagnating and losing that spark of life. Nobody wants to become a stagnant pond, right? Maintaining a playful spirit is essential. Many people feel lost after retirement, their sense of purpose fading as they drift away from the activities they once loved, or they focus solely on caring for their grandchildren. But why not be the grandparent who not only looks after the kids but also rocks out on the guitar? There's a common but misguided belief that aging means becoming more serious, more subdued. On the contrary, embracing playfulness can keep you young at heart and full of life. George Bernard Shaw once wisely said, "We don't stop playing because we grow old because we stop playing." So whether you decide to channel your inner Picasso in your 80s, claim the title of chess champion in your community, or simply become the most fun, lively grandparent on the block, remember, it's never too late to dive into a new passion and keep life thrilling. And who knows, you might discover that at 80 you're excelling at your new hobby in ways you never did in your former career. Wouldn't that be a delicious twist of fate? So go on, find that spark, nurture it, and let it light up your life. After all, life's too short to be dull, even at 80. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. 4. Social connections. Imagine your life as a Wi-Fi network. Each connection you build is like a bar of signal strength. As you reach the golden years of 70 or 80, having the strongest signal possible becomes more important than ever. Picture yourself as a wise old tree with roots that run deep, connecting you to others in ways that nourish your spirit and enrich your life. It's not just about being a part of a crowd, it's about the quality of those connections. At this age, you want your life to be vibrant and full, like a tapestry woven with the threads of meaningful relationships. Think of those elderly individuals who keep strong social ties. They're like precious gems, shining brightly in a world that often forgets the value of true companionship. These people aren't just living longer, they're living better, fuller lives. Studies have shown that the benefits of strong social connections are on par with the health benefits of quitting smoking. Imagine that. Just a simple chat with your neighbor could be as life-enhancing as giving up a habit that many have struggled with for years. It's a powerful reminder that the small, everyday interactions we might overlook are vital to our well-being. But it's more than just adding years to your life, it's about adding life to your years. Social connections are like a tonic for your mind and soul, keeping you mentally sharp and emotionally grounded. Every conversation you have is like a workout for your brain, keeping it agile and ready for whatever comes next. If you're someone who considers themselves a lone wolf, let me gently remind you even wolves thrive in packs. Loneliness isn't just a state of mind, it's a silent threat to your health, lurking in the shadows. Experts even say that loneliness can be as harmful as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Can you imagine that? It's a sobering thought, but also an empowering one because it means we have the power to change it. So how do you start strengthening those social bonds? You don't need to suddenly become the life of the party or surround yourself with crowds. Sometimes the smallest gestures carry the most weight. A simple phone call to a friend you haven't spoken to in years, joining a local group or club, or even just a warm smile and a greeting to your neighbor. These little actions ripple out, creating waves of connection that can fill your life with warmth and meaning. And if you ever feel like you don't have anything worthwhile to share, remember that every person's life is a treasure trove of stories, wisdom, and experiences. Share yours, your triumphs, your struggles, even the lessons learned from mistakes. You might be surprised at how your words can touch someone else's life. Social connections are like an emotional safety net. They catch you when life throws you into the deep end, offering support and comfort when you need it most. They are the difference between merely surviving and truly thriving. So the next time you're tempted to stay in, wrapped up in the comfort of a familiar TV show, take a moment to reconsider. That show isn't going anywhere, but the chance to connect with someone, to share a moment that could brighten both your day and theirs, that's priceless. It's these connections that keep us young at heart, filling our days with joy and purpose. In the end, it's not the number of friends you have on Facebook that counts, but the depth and authenticity of the relationships you nurture in the real world. A heart-to-heart conversation is far more valuable than 1,000 likes on social media. If you want to reach a ripe old age with a smile on your face and a twinkle in your eye, tend to your social garden with love and care. Water those relationships with attention, nourish them with patience, and watch as they bloom, bringing color and vitality to your life. Who knows? Perhaps the true secret to a long, fulfilling life isn't hidden in some mysterious elixir, but found in the laughter shared with friends, the warmth of family hugs, and those long, meaningful conversations that stretch into the night. Before we move on to the fifth thing that many elderly people find challenging, if you're enjoying this video, please take a moment to like it and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to hit the bell so you're notified of future content. If, like me, you cherish the wisdom that comes with age, leave a comment saying, "I love wisdom." And if you'd like to support this channel financially, consider becoming a member. I've included the link in the pinned comment and the video description. Your support means the world to me, and together we can continue learning and growing every day. 5. Financial stability. Imagine this: you've reached the golden age of 75, and life is everything you hoped it would be. You're enjoying your retirement, free from the stress of financial worries, and you have the freedom to do what you want when you want. It sounds like the perfect scenario, doesn't it? But for most people, sadly, that's just a distant dream, a wish they hope for but never truly believe will come true. The reality is much harsher, but don't lose hope, because today we're going to explore how you can be part of that fortunate few who achieve this dream. Did you know that a recent study revealed only 13% of Americans over the age of 60 feel financially secure? Just 13%. That means the remaining 87% are living with the constant weight of financial uncertainty, never knowing if they'll have enough to cover their needs. It's a staggering statistic, isn't it? It's as if almost everyone is playing a dangerous game of Russian roulette with their finances, hoping the bullet never lands in their chamber. But financial security at 70 or 80 years old is about so much more than just having a well-padded bank account. It's about the freedom to live comfortably, without the anxiety of depending on your children or the government to get by. It's about being able to enjoy life's little luxuries without feeling guilty or fearing that you're robbing your grandchildren of their inheritance. Now, I'm not suggesting that you need to be rolling in money like Scrooge McDuck, swimming through a vault of gold coins. But you should have enough to live with dignity, enough to occasionally treat your grandchildren to something sweet without having to agonize over your bank balance. So what happens if you don't reach this level of financial stability? The consequences can be daunting. You could find yourself in that group that constantly needs to ask for loans from your children. And let me tell you, nothing casts a shadow over a family dinner faster than having to ask your son or daughter for money to cover the bills. It's like trying to eat soup with a fork, frustrating, awkward, and leaving you unsatisfied. But all hope is not lost. There's a path forward. The legendary investor Warren Buffett once said, "Do not save what is left after spending, spend what is left after saving." Wise words from a man who has more money than most of us could ever dream of. But his advice applies to everyone, no matter your financial situation. The key is to start early. If you're in your 30s or 40s and you're watching this, consider yourself lucky you have time on your side. Start saving now, even if it's just a small amount. Think of it like planting a tree. The sooner you plant it, the larger and stronger it will be when you need it the most. And if you're already past 50 or 60, don't despair. It's never too late to begin. Your tree might not grow as tall, but even a little shade can make a world of difference, don't you think? Remember, financial stability isn't just about accumulating money. It's about achieving peace of mind, maintaining your independence, and being able to enjoy your golden years without the looming shadow of financial stress hanging over you. It's about having the ability to say yes to that long-awaited dream vacation, or to confidently say no to the idea of living in your eldest son's basement. Ultimately, financial stability is about more than just numbers. It's about securing the freedom to live your life on your terms with dignity, joy, and the assurance that you're prepared for whatever comes next. So whether you're just starting or you're well along the path, take heart. There's always a way to build a brighter, more secure future for yourself. And that, my friends, is the real treasure waiting for you in your retirement years. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. 6. The power of gratitude. Have you ever paused to think that gratitude is merely about muttering a quick thank you when someone hands you the salt at dinner? Well, buckle up, because you're about to embark on a journey that reveals gratitude is so much more a secret superpower that lies within all of us, just waiting to be unleashed. And what if I told you that harnessing this power could transform your life, making you not only happier and healthier, but also, dare I say it, even more attractive? Okay, maybe that last part isn't backed by science, but who's to say it couldn't be true? Imagine for a moment that your mind is like a vast, fertile garden. You have the choice each day to plant seeds of bitterness and complaints, or you can cultivate rows of gratitude. Now, picture the harvest. What kind of garden would you prefer to reap? The famous psychologist Martin Seligman, often hailed as the father of positive psychology, found that regularly practicing gratitude can lead to a significant increase in our overall happiness. It's like adding a magical happiness-boosting fertilizer to your mental garden. But how do we go about nurturing this flourishing garden of gratitude? Let's explore some ideas. Now, I can already hear you thinking, but it's so easy to get caught up in everything that's going wrong. And you're right. It's as if our brains are hardwired to latch onto the negative, like moths drawn to a flame. This is what psychologists call the negativity bias. It's like we've all got an inner drama queen residing in our minds, eager to blow every little mishap out of proportion. But here's the secret: the more you practice gratitude, the more you start to flip the script. It's a bit like hitting the gym, but instead of sculpting your muscles, you're toning your attitude. Sure, it's tough at first, but with time, the results speak for themselves. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once offered a profound perspective. When you arise in the morning, think of the precious privilege of being alive, of breathing, of thinking, of enjoying, of loving. Imagine greeting each new day with that thought. It's like a warm, invigorating cup of coffee for your soul. And if you ever feel a bit silly for expressing gratitude over the small things in life, remember the wisdom of the writer G.K. Chesterton, who said, "I thank God for the grass, not because it is better than diamonds, but because it is different from diamonds. So yes, It's perfectly okay to be thankful for the simple pleasure of a tuna sandwich at lunch. Gratitude isn't about pretending that life's challenges don't exist or that everything is perfect. It's about shining a light amid the storm, finding the silver lining in the darkest clouds. It's like becoming a detective, but instead of hunting for clues, you're on the lookout for moments of joy and appreciation. So, are you ready to unlock this extraordinary superpower? Ready to become that friend who radiates positivity, the one everyone secretly admires and wishes they could be more like? Go ahead, the garden of your life is waiting to be nurtured. And who knows, you might just discover that the world is much sweeter when viewed through the lens of gratitude. You might even find yourself thanking traffic jams for giving you extra time to savor your favorite podcast or the chance to reflect on the good things in life. The adventure of gratitude awaits. Let's see where it leads you. 7. You never stop learning and growing. Have you ever heard the saying that you can't teach an old dog new tricks? Well, let me tell you, that phrase is about as outdated as a rotary phone. In today's world, the idea that we stop learning as we age is not just a misconception, it's a myth that needs busting. So today, let's dive into something that sets you apart from 99% of people between 70 and 80 years old: the ability to master continuous learning. Imagine your brain as a muscle. If you don't work it out, it becomes flabby, sluggish, and weak. But if you keep it engaged, active, and challenged, you might just find yourself outpacing younger minds in the race of life. And I'm not exaggerating. Recent studies have shown that learning new things can delay cognitive decline and even protect against diseases like Alzheimer's. But what does continuous learning mean, especially in your golden years? No, it doesn't mean you need to enroll in a university at 80, although if that excites you, go for it. Continuous learning is more about nurturing that spark of curiosity that still burns brightly within you. Remember all the incredible changes you've witnessed over the decades? Think back to when you were young. Could you ever have imagined carrying a computer in your pocket? Something we now call a smartphone? Today, these gadgets are almost like an extension of ourselves, and the world is transformed in ways that once seemed impossible. Here's the secret: instead of resisting these changes, why not embrace them? Did you know that even Warren Buffett, one of the wealthiest and wisest men alive, continues to learn every single day, even in his later years? He reads at least 500 pages daily, and often says that knowledge builds up like compound interest. So if you're aiming to be rich, not just in wealth, but in wisdom, you already know the path to take. But continuous learning doesn't have to be all serious and academic. Why not dive into something fun? Something that will not only keep your brain buzzing, but also put a smile on your face. How about exploring those apps that your grandchildren can't stop talking about? Imagine the look of surprise on their faces when you send them a meme or a GIF in your next message. Or better yet, why not pick up a completely new skill? Have you always dreamed of playing the guitar, but never found the time? Guess what? You have all the time in the world now, and it's not too late. Just look at Grandma Moses, the celebrated painter who didn't start her art career until she was 78 years old. Today, her paintings are worth millions. Continuous learning doesn't just keep your mind sharp, it opens up new perspectives on life. It helps you see the world through fresh eyes, understanding the changes around you with clarity and insight. It's like slipping on a new pair of glasses. Suddenly, everything comes into focus, sharper and more vibrant than before. So the next time someone suggests you're too old to learn something new, remind them that the brain has no expiration date. As the great George Eliot said, it's never too late to be what you might have been. And to that I would add, it's never too late to learn what you've always wanted to know. In essence, continuous learning isn't just a skill, it's a superpower. It keeps you young at heart, connects you to the world in meaningful ways, and best of all, it reminds you that life is full of thrilling possibilities, no matter your age. So I ask you, what are you going to learn today? The possibilities are endless, and the adventure of discovery is yours to embrace. 8. You keep an open mind. Imagine reaching an age where you've experienced so much of life, yet you still look at the world with the eyes of a child, filled with wonder, excitement, and a deep appreciation for every moment. You don't rush to judge, you don't get caught up in comparisons. Instead, you savor each day as if it were a precious gift. Sounds beautiful, doesn't it? Well, what if I told you that maintaining an open mind as you grow older is like having a secret superpower? It's a power that can make your later years not just longer, but richer and more fulfilling. Renowned psychologist Carol Dweck has explored this idea and discovered that people who adopt a growth mindset, those who believe they can continue learning, growing, and improving no matter their age, tend to be happier and healthier as they age. It's almost like having a fountain of youth right there in your brain. But how do you tap into this incredible power? It's simpler than you might think. Picture your mind as a house. As people age, many tend to shut all the doors and windows, sealing themselves inside with the same old thoughts and beliefs they've always had. But you have the choice to keep those doors and windows wide open, allowing fresh air and new perspectives to flow in. The Roman philosopher Seneca once said, "As long as I live, I learn," and he couldn't have been more correct. Keeping an open mind is like being at an endless learning party. Can you imagine reaching 80 years old and still discovering something new and fascinating every day? That's what it truly means to live. But don't mistake this for simply agreeing with everything you hear. Keeping an open mind is more akin to being a curious detective, someone who listens carefully, observes, analyzes thoughtfully, and then forms their own, well-considered opinions. It's like strolling through a supermarket of ideas, where you get to pick and choose the ones that resonate with you. And here's the icing on the cake: keeping an open mind doesn't just enrich your life, it also has a ripple effect on those around you. Imagine being that grandparent or elder who is always full of fascinating stories, who listens without judgment to the wild, new ideas of younger generations, and who engages with genuine interest. You'd quickly become the beloved star of every family gathering, the person everyone turns to for wisdom and insight. So, if you want to be part of that rare 1% of older people who maintain an open mind, there's no better time to start than now. Cultivate your curiosity, welcome new ideas with open arms, and above all, never stop learning. Remember, age is just a number, but an open mind is a treasure beyond measure. The brilliant Albert Einstein once said, "Once you stop learning, you start dying, so keep your mind alive, vibrant, and open to all the possibilities life has to offer." Who knows? At 80 years old, you might find yourself picking up a skateboard or learning to code the next big app. The sky's the limit when you keep your mind open. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 4 below to let me know that you are still here with me. 9. Maintaining harmonious relationships with your children. Have you ever tried reasoning with an angry teenager? If so, you know just how challenging it can be. Sometimes it feels like teaching a cat to dance flamenco might be easier. But what if I told you that there's a way to communicate peacefully with your children, even as you reach your 70s or 80s? Yes, you heard that right. Today, we're delving into the art of peaceful communication with our children, a skill that only a select 1% of older people truly master. Imagine this: having a conversation with your adult child that doesn't spiral into a shouting match or end with a slammed door. It might sound like something out of science fiction, but I assure you it's entirely possible. And no, you don't need Jedi mind tricks to make it happen. The secret lies in something deceptively simple yet profoundly powerful: active listening. And I don't just mean nodding along while you're already planning your next response. I mean truly listening with your full attention, as if your child's words were the lyrics to your favorite song, and you want to catch every nuance. But what happens if your children ignore you or are too angry to engage? This is where the wisdom of age comes into play. There's a beautiful legend of an old sage who had a son who refused to speak to him. Instead of forcing the issue, the sage quietly planted a tree in front of his house. Every day, without uttering a word, he tended to that tree with care. Over time, the son's curiosity got the better of him, and one day he finally asked his father about the tree. That simple question marked the beginning of a renewed dialogue between father and son. The moral here is clear sometimes. The most meaningful communication doesn't involve words at all. By giving space, showing patience, and offering unconditional love, you can open doors that you thought were shut forever. Another essential tool in peaceful communication is empathy. Yes, I know that at your age, putting yourself in someone else's shoes, especially the trendy ones your kids wear, might not come naturally, but it's worth the effort. Try to see the world from their perspective, to understand their struggles, their fears, and their dreams. Remember, they are navigating a world vastly different from the one you knew at their age. The challenges they face are unique, and they need your understanding more than your judgment. Speaking of different worlds, did you know that families who share dinner at least 3 times a week tend to communicate significantly better? This insight comes from a study at the University of Michigan. So the next time you want to have a meaningful conversation with your child, consider inviting them to dinner. After all, the way to the heart in good communication often passes through the stomach. However, it's crucial to remember that peaceful communication doesn't mean being a pushover. You can and should maintain your boundaries and express your opinions, but the key is to do so without attacking or judging. Use phrases that focus on your feelings rather than making accusations. For example, instead of saying, "You always ignore me, try, I feel sad when we don't talk." This approach fosters understanding rather than defensiveness. Keep in mind that peaceful communication isn't about winning an argument, it's about building bridges. And yes, sometimes those bridges take years to construct, but trust me, when you're 80 and can sit down for a pleasant, meaningful conversation with your 50-year-old child, you'll realize that every effort was worth it. So, if you aspire to be part of that exclusive 1% of older people who can communicate peacefully with their children, start practicing now. Listen more, judge less, and above all, remember that the journey is just as important as the destination. And one last thing, please resist the temptation to use young people's slang to relate. No one wants to hear their grandparents say, "Okay, boomer." Instead, just be yourself. Authenticity goes a long way in building lasting, meaningful connections. 10. You practice generosity. Imagine for a moment that you're a superhero. But unlike the ones in comic books, your superpower isn't about flying through the sky or lifting cars with ease. Your power is something much more profound, something that can truly change the world, the ability to improve the lives of others. Sounds incredible, doesn't it? Well, here's the best part: you already have that power. We all do. The challenge lies in recognizing it, and more importantly, choosing to activate it. Generosity isn't just about money. It's about giving your time, your attention, your compassion, and your help to others. It's like planting a tree whose shade you may never sit under, but that will bring comfort and relief to others long after you're gone. The philosopher Seneca once said, "We become richer not by increasing our wealth, but by decreasing our desires." It seems that Seneca had uncovered the secret to happiness centuries before modern science caught on. Speaking of science, psychologist Elizabeth Dunn has spent years studying the effects of generosity on our happiness and health. And what did she discover? It turns out that spending money on others brings us more joy than spending it on ourselves. It's as if our brains are wired with a happiness boost button that gets pressed every time we're generous. So the next time you're about to splurge on that gadget you don't need, yes, I'm looking at you, robot vacuum with Wi-Fi, consider asking yourself, could this money bring happiness to someone else instead? Your heart and your wallet might just thank you for it. But remember, generosity isn't just about financial giving. Volunteering your time, for example, not only lifts your spirits but can also add years to your life. It's like every hour you dedicate to helping others adds to your life clock. Why search for the fountain of youth when you can tap into the fountain of generosity instead? Famed psychologist Martin Seligman, known as the father of positive psychology, has shown that people who regularly engage in acts of kindness experience a significant boost in their overall well-being. Think of generosity as a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger and more resilient you become. We can't forget the wisdom of the Buddha, who once said, "If you knew what I know about the power of generosity, you wouldn't let a single meal pass without sharing something. Perhaps that's why Buddhist monks often radiate such happiness. They've mastered the art of giving, and they're free from the worries that often weigh us down, like phone bills and material concerns. So how can you start practicing generosity today? You don't need to be Bill Gates to make a difference. Generosity can be as simple as smiling at a stranger. Yes, even with a mask, your eyes can convey so much, helping a neighbor carry their groceries, or truly listening to a friend without the distraction of your phone. Remember, generosity is contagious. Each act of kindness sends out ripples that extend far beyond what we can see. The next time you find yourself disheartened by the state of the world, ask yourself, what can I do to make it better? Because in those small, seemingly insignificant moments of giving, you wield the power to change the world one act of kindness at a time. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 5 below to let me know that you are still here with me. 11. Living with purpose. Have you ever wondered what makes some people seem to glow with vitality, even as they age gracefully into their golden years? Well, my friend, you're about to uncover one of the most powerful secrets to a long and fulfilling life living with purpose. And no, I'm not just talking about waking up each morning pondering what flavor of jelly to spread on your toast, although that's important too. Imagine waking up every day with a genuine reason to start your day with enthusiasm. Maybe you're not exactly jumping out of bed like you used to, but at least you're sliding out with a smile on your face and a twinkle in your eye. That's what it means to live with purpose. And believe me, it's like having a superpower that keeps you energized and motivated, no matter your age. But what exactly does it mean to have a purpose? It's not about donning a cape and saving the world, although if that's your calling, by all means, embrace it. Having a purpose is about finding something that sparks your passion, something that gives you a sense of fulfillment and makes you feel alive. According to a study by the University of Michigan, older adults with a strong sense of purpose are 15% less likely to die prematurely. Incredible, right? It's almost as if the universe grants you extra time simply for having a mission in life. Now, don't think you need to become the next Einstein or win a Nobel Prize, though, if that's in your plans. I hope you'll remember to send me an invite to the ceremony. Your purpose can be as simple as striving to be the best grandparent your family has ever seen, cultivating the most beautiful garden on your block, or perfecting that cherished cookie recipe passed down from your grandmother. The renowned psychologist Viktor Frankl, who endured the horrors of Nazi concentration camps, said that purpose is what propels us forward, even in the darkest of times. He understood better than most that having a purpose can be a lifeline, a guiding star that helps us navigate the challenges of life. So how do you find that elusive purpose? Here are a few tips. 1. Reflect on what truly excites you. What activities make you lose track of time? 2. Consider your strengths. What are you naturally good at? 3. Think about how you can make a positive impact on others. Sometimes our purpose is found in the small acts of kindness that brighten someone else's day. And don't worry if your purpose doesn't reveal itself right away. Finding your purpose is a bit like searching for the remote control. Sometimes it's sitting right in front of you, but you just haven't noticed it yet. Living with purpose isn't just about emotional fulfillment, it also comes with physical health benefits. Studies have shown that people with a strong sense of purpose enjoy better cardiovascular health, a lower risk of dementia, and even more restful sleep. It's like discovering a magic pill for well-being, but without any of the side effects. And remember, it's never too late to find your purpose. Even at 80 years old, you could decide that your new mission is to taste every flavor of ice cream on the planet. Someone's got to do it, right? So why not let that someone be you? In the end, living with purpose isn't about grand gestures or monumental achievements. It's about finding joy and meaning in the little things, in the passions that light up your soul, and in the ways you touch the lives of others. That, my friend, is the true secret to shining brightly at any age. And there you have it. We've explored the incredible power of purpose, the joy of generosity, and the art of peaceful communication. We've seen how living with purpose can add years to your life, how a simple act of kindness can brighten not only someone else's day but yours as well, and how an open mind can keep your spirit youthful and vibrant. So what have you learned so far? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Share in the comments below one thing you've learned from this video and how you plan to bring it into practice in your own life. Whether it's finding a new purpose, practicing generosity, or improving communication with loved ones, your insights might just inspire someone else. If you enjoyed this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Your support helps us continue to bring valuable content to you. Thanks for watching, and remember, it's never too late to live your best life.